Un petit bout d'avenir sous mes paupières est tranquille. Il
I
écoute.
recently found myself thinking about this movie last night. Its reflection on loss has really stuck with me, so I figured I'd watch it again and see how it held up. Safe to say, to get bias out of the way very early, I love this movie. For me, it's quite literally a masterpiece. The art direction and animation is gorgeous. It's weird and quirky, but not in an overstated way. At times, it feels hauntingly realistic, like you can imagine yourself in this weird, quirky world. It's as close to real as we can get, which is refreshing. I love how the sad nature of the film is so ever present but not overstated. It's sad, but not overly so. It's just portraying what life actually feels like sometimes, which is sometimes in life, life kicks you over and over while you're down, and you still have to get up. It's funny because I think that the reason I've been thinking about this movie so much was I was recently writing some long extended paragraphs about a game that I've been playing, and I brought up the art of kintsugi while I was writing those paragraphs, and I guess that brought up this like flash of this scene from this movie in which Gracie was sitting on the bench with her snails. Uh, Funny how we are suddenly reminded of certain things, right? I love how this aspect plays into the movie. This idea that Gracie is using a form of this art, like with the snails, to fill up the cracks in her life is pretty ever present and is a thought that I sit with a lot in the aftermath of this movie. How these snails that once used to give her life purpose now control like every aspect of her life and now keeps her imprisoned and stuck in a pause, as she says, is deeply powerful. Other things are happening in the movie as well, like Gilbert's story, something you empathize so much for and over. To be trapped in a prison of not of your making, but of someone else's is a scary thought, for sure. I hate how Ruth treats Gilbert, if not trying to understand, of not letting himself be himself. She has to control, to dictate, and command over Gilbert, who's just trying to live his life. Every time I get to that fire at the church, the music combined with the visuals, combined with the callbacks, gets me every time. The sheer horror and open mouth, like, oh my God, look on my face would be comedic if not for the circumstances. The snail moment as well. The thought is always heavily lingering in the air, but the fact that she grabs the snail poison is like so thematically relevant and truthfully just a really good piece of writing, all things considered. The amount of times tears well up in my eyes throughout this film is so many, but those are the two moments where like I cry openly. My favorite moment from the entire film is when Gracie and Gilbert and Perry spend the night singing Alouette. I love the understated meaning that this has for future events in the story, the hints that it gives at what Adam Elliott is going to do with these characters and their backstory and so much more. Maybe this meaning is unintentional and he just picked a random song, but is that an interesting pick for a film like this? There are so many other moments that I could mention that this film does so well. But to keep this review on the shorter side, there is another moment a little earlier on when Gracie is facing her bullies and she curls up on the floor and a shell forms around her. This feels like a sticking point that present Gracie keeps sticking to as she tells us this story, attempting to understand her past from her future as she discovers. Sometimes it's nice to exist within a shell, but you can't live in there. Not forever. I'm so glad this movie exists. Thank you for listening to me talk about it. Bye.